Hey guys, it's Alex. I am here. I am live. I am so excited. Thank you guys for coming. I don't know who's here yet, and I'm not sure how this works. I'm gonna try to do this on the side of my phone, and kind of see who's on and what's going on. But listen, whether it is for one lady, lovely lady leader, or whether it's for 100 guys, I am so glad to be able to do this and have the privilege of just kind of talking to you guys. I cannot believe that this is happening live. I'm freaking out. So we're going to talk about confidence, and honestly, by the way, I have a nervous laugh. So hey, there are people watching. I don't know who you are. Put your name on the in the little comments, and I'm going to try to see if I can check this out, if I can load it up so that I can take a look at it, maybe interact with you guys a little bit more. Hey guys, we're just waiting for other people to show up and seeing if Alex can figure out what she's supposed to be doing here, because this is a hot mess, guys, honestly. Oh, there she is. She's live. So let me make sure I shut that up, and let me see if I can see comments. Hey guys, oh no. Okay, so let me see if I can do the comments. Thank you guys for being patient with me. Hopefully you can see me. I'm gonna go with this, guys. I'm gonna roll with it, and I just want to bring you some added value. I just want to bless you guys and love you guys. And when you guys kind of came on board on Facebook, there was a question that I asked, and it was, if you're having issues in life and how you're showing up and what's going on with you, and how what would you like to improve? It was like a resounding, everybody said confidence. And I'm like, confidence? Please. That's awesome. I could do that. I could talk about that. Okay. I figured out how to do it. Amy says, hello. Hello. Erica, hey, you're here. Yay. And then there's two other ones. Somebody says, hey girl, confidence. And then somebody said Facebook user. Guys, if you can kind of go through StreamYard and put your name in there, or kind of go through the process so that I can be able to see you and interact with you a little bit better. That would be awesome and amazing. So thank you guys for showing up for my live. You guys are so cool. All right. We were going to talk about confidence. All right. So I want to get into it, but first, again, thank you guys for being here. It's really just amazing to be able to, somebody's Connie, my sister Connie. Hi, Connie. So yeah, it is really cool to, just kind of share this moment with you guys and do this live for you. And I just want to add some value. So I know, some people, the way that they do things, they bring, very calm energy. That is not me. Like if you see me on any of my videos, I'm a little bit more lively. I'm a little bit more out there. I love to share the truth in love. I'm going to give you some truth about confidence today, but I want to say very quickly, and here's a disclaimer. This thing that we call confidence, the way that we've seen it and we've known it, and we kind of think like, you see Tony Robbins here, confidence, take that, and somebody else here, have some of that, and you're done. That's not what this is. This is a lifestyle, right? And this is something that you're going to build upon a little bit at a time. So I'm going to break down, first of all, what confidence is, what it isn't. I think I'm going to go with what confidence isn't first, and then we'll talk about what it is and how you can begin to acquire it in your life, right? And really just kind of hone your craft, because a lot of people said that they lack confidence. Some people have this much confidence and they want to level up on their confidence. I'm all about leveling up. To me, in life, you have to be someone who is willing to push yourself to the next level, I'm always satisfied, but I'm not content, or I'm content and not satisfied. But either which way, the point is that I love where I'm at, but I always want to go a little bit further and do a little bit more and learn a little bit more. So for me, I have a lifestyle of learning. That's just who I am. It's a core quality of who I am as a person. And on this iDLegacy group, that is something that I want us all to share. Always be open-minded, always be growth-oriented, right? Because to have a fixed mindset says, this is it, this is all that there is. And you definitely need a growth mindset in life. You've got to be able to shift, adapt, pivot, right? With this coronavirus, we've all learned it's just been a crazy, crazy time out there. And honestly, it's just about that pivot. What can I do now? Because who ever thought that we would be having so much interaction online the way that this is. Like before, pre-corona, I was not big on Facebook, and now all of a sudden it's like this is life, right? This is really important. So yeah, so with that, let's talk a little bit about mindset, confidence mindset. So I've got my notes here, guys, because I like to be a little bit prepared. That kind of helps me be a little bit more confident, right? So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about confidence isn't. Because we have already preconceived notions of what we think that confidence is and isn't. So here's what I want to say. When you think of confidence, I want you to put down, on the little comments, guys, I'm not big on Facebook. I don't even know the verbiage, but put on the comments, who you think of when you think of confidence, right? What person comes to your mind that they strut their stuff in a way that is just unbelievable. And, you always thought, maybe I want to be like that person. It could be somebody that you know personally, or somebody who you don't really know, but this is just a person that you see on TV or something like that. I will share mine while I'm waiting for you guys to put some comments down below. I'm going to share with you who I think of, right? One of the biggest people out there, somebody said you, how sweet. One of the biggest people out there who show up with all this confidence, her name is Queen Bey, right? Everybody knows Beyonce. Everybody knows that's her name. The other personality, her alter ego, is called Sasha Fierce, right? And she says that when she becomes Sasha Fierce, I mean, she's just, it is what it is. And she comes out with all this confidence. So that's when I think of somebody with confidence. That's what I'm used to being the norm of what I think. I mean, just somebody who owns their presence and owns the stage if they're on a stage, but they come into a room and they command attention. That to me is somebody who has confidence. But honestly, the Facebook user only it doesn't have a name on there. It could be someone else. Like Connie's saying, it's me, it's Connie. But yeah, honestly, so it could be, when we're talking about confidence, it could be anything where a person looks like they own it and they know who they are. That's what it looks like to us, right? But we think that maybe it's a feeling that they have, right? How many people think that confidence is a feeling? I just feel confident. Confidence is not a feeling. Just so that you know, confidence is not a feeling. It's not something that you feel and you can just go out, with that feeling. Fear is a feeling, and it is very real. And for a lot of people, it's the exact opposite of confidence, but it's real and you have it. And so you think that if I fear, then maybe on the other side, I can have confidence and show up in that way. But that's not really what it is. Okay. And by the way, when you're fearful, that's a normal thing. Like, it's the fear of the unknown. Sometimes you don't know exactly what it is that you're doing or what it's going to look like on the other side. Guys, this is my first live, and I would be lying to you if I told you that there wasn't that little bit of pitter patter and clearly in my throat, and what are they going to think and what are they going to say? And am I doing this right? Will the content be good? And all of these thoughts come through in your mind, but that doesn't mean that I don't have confidence. My confidence is not based on a feeling. Number one, it's not a personality trait. Yes, I am extroverted, and there's a lot of extroverted people out there. And you would think that all the extroverted people, they're ready to go out. And I know plenty of extroverted people who are saying, I don't want to do what you have to do today. Like, I don't even want to go there. They don't have the confidence to do certain things. And you would think that they're extroverted, and that's just part of their personality. Confidence is not an innate trait. It is not something that people are born with. Even though you see little kids, some of them, man, they are just so confident. They don't know any better. But, and then they kind of grow up that way for the rest of their lives. But it's not necessarily something that you're born with, right? It's not also built or linked to your self-esteem. Just because you have a lot of self-confidence doesn't mean that you have great self-esteem. I know a lot of people who come across, women who come across like they've got it all put together. And when it comes time to perform that thing that they have to do, thank you, Erica. She says, I'm doing great. When it comes time to do that thing that they have to do, they show up and they get it done and they're confident in that. But on the backside, right? Or they'll have that beautiful Facebook page, you know, but on the backside, they are broken down. So it has nothing to do with the self-esteem. I know women whose self-esteem were on the floor, but when the camera was on and they had to take that picture, boy, they knew how to do it. They knew how to come up, you know, how to show up the way that they were supposed to, do what they have to do. The camera comes down and they're crying in a corner. So your confidence is not really linked with your self-esteem. Okay. Confidence is not a belief in your abilities. A lot of people think that it is a belief in your abilities. If I can do this, I'm going to be very confident at it, right? That's really not, when you know that you can do something, that's not really confidence. That's actually called competence, right? It's your belief that you can do something. It's called your competence. So competence, by the way, is very much linked to confidence, but it shouldn't be confused because there are two different things. There are people who know how to do things and they don't ever want to do it. They don't have the confidence that they're going to do it correctly, even though they have the competency for it. So again, when we're talking about what confidence isn't, confidence is not a feeling. Confidence is not a personality trait. It is not self-esteem. By the way, I've got my notes here. It's not self-esteem because self-esteem really is just a self-judgment. And by the way, confidence has nothing to do with your self-worth either. Just because you're not confident doesn't mean that you have low self-worth. That's the flip side, right? I may not be confident that I can do a certain thing or that I can show up in a certain way, but that doesn't mean that I don't have self-worth. So it could be either or, right? And then lastly, confidence is not a belief that you can do something. When you know that you can do something, that's competency. But, you know, again, that plays in with the confidence, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. So what I did want to tell you, and I probably forgot to mention it when we first started, I want to do a series of this because this is so in-depth. This is not a woo-woo thing. It's not like I can just give you confidence overnight. It is something that you're going to work on. As you have the foundation, as you know the basics of it, or, you know, just the foundation of it, you can begin to build on that. Okay. So now we already talked about what confidence isn't. Now let's talk about what confidence is. Can anybody put out there, tell me what you think confidence actually is, right? What is it? What is confidence to you? Oh, by the way, did anyone get this worksheet? Because this worksheet is on the units. It's in the unit, and I want to make sure that you have it. I want you to fill it out because this is really good and it's really telling. And if I am going to do for the next 3 weeks, I'm going to go ahead and continue with the confidence, and we're going to build on some confidence. There's actually 9 different areas of confidence that we can work in. And I want to bring to you a tailor-made training. So I want to make sure that the training that I bring is something that you're going to need, that it's going to be beneficial for you. I don't want to talk about confidence in terms of, relationships, let's say. Oh, it's good, Amy. It is an ability to push through limiting beliefs. There you go. That is a really good definition of confidence. And that's something that we're going to address here, limiting beliefs. That's one that I think is non-negotiable. When we talk about confidence, I want to make sure, Erica, she filled out the worksheet. I want to make sure that that when we talk about confidence, that we don't miss that limiting belief, right? That's something, and you're going to see that throughout the whole time that you're here in this group. We are always going to be talking about limiting beliefs, because I believe that we're showing up in the world without confidence. I believe that we're showing up in the world without that clarity and without that conviction of purpose. We've got so many things going on because honestly, we just have so many limiting beliefs. And we'll get into that later on. But that's something, when we talk about confidence, we most definitely want to talk about limiting beliefs and integrate the two, right? To obliterate some things that we've been thinking and that we've been feeling so that we can show up the way that we're supposed to. Okay, so yes. So if you fill this out, Erica, that's awesome. That's good, because I'm going to ask you guys to let me know which areas that you think that you might want to work on, so that will be part of future presentations. Okay, so now let's talk about what confidence is. So I need my glasses to read, guys. I'm not very confident that I can read this without them. All right, confidence is a learned skill. Just like you learn other skills in life, you can actually learn to be confident, right? or more confident, as it were, depending on where your level is. And by the way, like I said, there's 9 different areas of confidence. So you might be really confident in one particular area, and then the other area, you're on the floor and you really need a lot of help. And so honestly, if I had a woman come to me as a coach and she said, I really want to work on my confidence, this could be something that could take a good 6 months if we're going through all this, all the little areas of that confidence of what this woman might need, depending on how she shows up in the world, or depending on the things that she's been believing and what's been going on in her life. But confidence is a learned skill. So that means to you, of course, that you can learn this, that you can do this, that you are not stuck where you're at. A lot of people feel very stuck where they're at with their confidence, and they want to move past that. They want to push past that. They want to push past the limiting beliefs. They want to push past the things that they've been told, the things that they've thought of themselves, or what they thought that they really couldn't do. And get out there and do some things. And we're going to get through, I'm going to give you some of the tools in order to be able to do that. Confidence is like a muscle, right? And just like a muscle, it has to be conditioned and it has to be worked on. So you want to make sure that this is an active thing in your life, just like when you're trying to lose weight. And I don't want to talk about weight because that's an issue for me right now, but and with confidence, but when you're trying to lose weight and you want to, do this thing, and that you've got to get to the gym, it's important that you're at the gym. It's important that you are, eating correctly. It becomes a lifestyle for you because you've made this, something that you totally want to be committed to. That's what I want you to think about when you think about confidence. Think about this is a commitment for you. This is, I really want to be there. And so here, I'm going to lay down the tracks for you, but it's up to you to work it out. It's up to you to get to the other side of this, right? So confidence is also, so like I said, it's a learn that has to be worked out, but it's also the ability to try. I love this. It's the ability to try combined with trust in yourself that you will figure it out, right? The ability to try with trust in yourself that you will figure it out. I love this. Marie, I want to say Forno. I don't even know how to say her last name. She's got a really cool book that is called Everything is Figureoutable. And I really, really like it. It really, truly is talking about confidence and how we show up in the world, and just getting that mindset that says, what I don't know, I will figure out. And I love women. And to me, the women that have the most confidence are the ones that when they show up, right? Say they're talking about their genius zone. They are in their place and they're doing their thing and whatever, and somebody questions them. The woman that has confidence is not the one that says, oh, I don't know, and quickly changes the subject. It's the one that says, you know what? I'm not sure, but I'm going to figure this out, and goes back, finds the information, comes back, gives it to you, and is ready to go. And on top of that, next time somebody comes to ask that question, she's ready, right? Because she took the time to educate herself. She took the time to prepare herself. Preparation is a lot. When it comes to confidence, is one of the really cool tips. You want to be prepared. You want to do some, whatever it takes to prepare yourself. Like, I had this live. I kind of did this talk. I kind of made sure that I rehearsed this just a little bit. I made sure that I was had my notes and I'm prepared for this, because first and foremost, honestly, I want to bring you added value. I want to give you something. To me, it's an exchange, right? You are investing your time. I want to give you something for that investment. I want to make sure that I give you some value to the things that I say. And again, the next couple of sessions, trainings that we do will be tailored to what it is that your needs are. So there's that. But anyway, confidence is the ability to try combined with trust in yourself that you will figure it out. And it's a willingness to act even in the fear of uncertainty. So again, here's the two-parter. One is to be growth mindset. And here is the clues to what true confidence is and how you acquire it and build on it. Number one is to have a growth mindset, to say to yourself, this is not all that there is. I can push myself a little bit forward, right? So to have that growth mindset, number one. And then number two, to be, I'm going to say it, it's bias towards action, to be action oriented, to not just know that you can do it, but begin to take those steps to do that thing that maybe you were fearful of or that you didn't want to try. For example, I had someone a lady, I love her. She's so sweet, very dear friend of mine. When we were talking about confidence, I said, how can I, what can we work on with your confidence? And she said, I just want to be able to show up. She has a home-based business, and I want to be able to talk about my business, introduce myself, and not really get tongue-tied, and be able to say what I want to say about the business. Now, this woman knows her business back and front. So it's not, again, about competency. I mean, if you ask her anything about this business, she knows it back and front. But when she shows up in front of other people, it's a hard thing, to do. So when you look at this confidence in any of those areas, the framework is still going to be the same. It's still to be able to say to yourself, okay, I can do this. And if you can't get that far, we can't go any further. Like, if you don't have that confidence in yourself, and you can't tell yourself, I can grow here, I can be better here, there's really nothing else that can be done, right? As a coach, I'm here to inspire you and to tell you, yes, you can, because I know you can. I know you can. You guys are bomb. First of all, most of the women on this group, first of all, you guys, number one, have businesses. You're boss babes, you're lady leaders, you're ministry mamas. You got it going on. Something in you knows that you can, and you have, and you will. So I love that, right? So that's not this group, but there are people who can't go any further. And I want you to know that you have to have that growth mentality, right? If you're part of my tribe, that growth mentality is everything. Because nobody, if you're around me, we're not staying. We're on a mission. We're going somewhere. And with this confidence, we're getting you to that place, regardless of how far you have to go for you to feel comfortable in your own confidence, standing in your own power. So that being said, again, it's the ability to try combined with trusting yourself so that you can figure it out, and a willingness to act. So that's the second part. It's the willingness to act. It's a bias towards action. Get out there, go do it, girl. I'm behind you. We've got a whole sisterhood behind you. I want to hear some inspirational stories coming back next week, that you guys did something out of your comfort zone, that you guys went into that area of, man, I didn't have confidence, but I showed up for myself. I showed up for my people. I showed up for those around me. As Christians, we all know that we're supposed to love other people and put other people first. But honestly, you can't do that if you don't love yourself. And that's the same thing with confidence. You got to show up for yourself. You got to say to yourself, I'm going to do this for me. Okay. So again, and then lastly, it is a cycle, by the way. To have true confidence, it's a cycle. It's a cycle of try, learn, grow, competency, and then confidence. This is how competency actually begets confidence. But it's a try, a learn, and a grow. And when we're talking about try, it's just doing it, showing up. That's the show up part. When you try, you're just showing up. The part two is the learn, right? That means that even if you fail, you don't ever really fail. You learn from your mistakes. You learn how to pivot. Okay. Some of the most amazing people actually just know how to pivot. That's what makes them so great. They don't have it. This is not about perfection. This is about excellence. This is about, if I can't do it this way, I'm going to figure this out. I'm not stopping till I figure this out. A tenacity is really what's needed for you to get that competency in order to be confident. Okay. So again, it's a cycle of try, learn, grow, competency, and confidence. So, does that make sense? I don't know can you guys put down a comment or something? Are you guys with me? Do you understand? Do you have any questions? Is there anything? I haven't seen anything in the feed, and I just want to make sure that I'm giving you some good stuff here for you to understand what it's going to take for you to be confident. Because honestly, we can talk about those individual things, and there's 9 areas, and I'm willing to talk about those areas. If you have any certain question that you have when it comes to confidence, if there's something that you're struggling with, because everyone said that, not everyone, but a lot of you said that you were struggling in confidence. In what way? What way were you struggling with that? What part of confidence were you trying to push yourself in? Right? A lot of it is just the competency. A lot of people just feel that they don't have enough, information, or so they're hiding behind, let me go find more stuff. Let me go do more stuff. Let me go learn more stuff. And they're just not showing up. But honestly, you can know everything in the world up here Thank you, Erica. It makes sense. Nice. You can have a lot of information up here, but if you're not walking this out, it's not going to do anything for you. So it really is about taking those steps forward. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about this assessment, and I want to make sure that you guys fill this out. I'm going to tell you a little bit about mine. I filled this one's mine. I don't know if you could see it, but where's the camera? There it is. I filled it out for myself. I figured if I'm going to make you guys do it, I'm going to do it right. Because obviously we all have areas that we need to grow in. So for me, the confidence that I had, so there's two. So this is identifying your areas of confidence, of low confidence, but it's also asking you you're going to put the level of confidence. Let me see. Is confident a part of being bold? I think you can be confident and have a quiet confidence. That's a good question. I think you can have confidence and have a quiet confidence, and you don't necessarily have to be bold about it. And I also believe that you can be bold and blurt out something and really not have any confidence in what you're saying. So I think it is apart from being bold. But I do believe that, again, just like competency and confidence, when you are more confident, you're more bold. You're definitely, because you're sure of yourself. And again, this is why this is so important, because if you don't know who you are, you can't possibly, like, listen, if I didn't, say I'm a singer, right? And I really didn't know that was my calling. And people always tell me, yeah, you have a nice voice or whatever. And I know I sound good or whatever, but I don't have that knowing that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm never going to sing out in front of people. I will sing and belt it out in the bathroom, but I won't be bold enough to sing in front of people. So it truly is. It's tied to that identity. That's why it's so important for me, guys. I love watching women have that aha moment of who they are and created to be, right? Who they were created to be, and walk out that destiny that God has called for you. That is my jam all day long, to watch you guys walk that out in confidence so that you can be bold and you can show up in your world to do the things that you were called to do. Okay. So back to this assessment, I filled out the assessment, and again, extremely low, you're going to hit 1 for extremely low, or 10 extremely high. For me, I'll start with the good stuff and then we'll get to the ugly nitty gritty. How confident are you about your relationships in general? I think that's one of the areas in my life that I kind of feel very confident in. Most of the relationships that I've had that have really meant a lot to me, people are still in my life, 10, 20, 30 years later. So that's a really cool thing. I love that. I love the relationships that I've built, and I'm very confident in, if I have an issue, I can call someone and our relationship is solid. So, friendships. I love that. So I would put like a 9. Oh, look, I put an 8. Anyway, I put an 8 for that one. And with my relationship with God, I put a 9. I'm so secure now. Guys, I grew up in church, and from 8 years old, I grew up in church. I remember being saved when I was 8 years old, but I didn't have that confidence in God. Oh my gosh, I did not have a relationship. Today, if you ask me about God, I'm going to say that's my Abba. That's my daddy. He loves me. He loves me. He loves me. And I'm so confident in his love for me that it doesn't matter what I do. It's not to say that I get to have a free pass and I get to act the fool. That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that God loves me, that Jesus's blood was enough, right? And I'm not trying to preach here, but I'm telling you what it took for me to get to that place of just a confidence. I'm so confident that when I speak and I talk to God, I know that he's right there and he's listening. I'm so confident that my prayers to God, that there is nothing hindering that prayer, because there's nothing that I can do to take our relationship and pull it apart. Man, there's a confidence. I'll tell you that there were times that I wasn't that confident, that if I did something, I'd be like, oh, here we go again. And like, I didn't want to pray for days. I didn't want to talk to God. I didn't want to see his face, like hiding from him, right? Like, but that's no longer the issue. In that area, I feel very confident. And so many women, again, they feel guilty because they don't have that connection with the Lord. And I want to be a part of that journey for you, to help you understand that, man, your daddy loves you. He loves you. He loves you. He loves you. And your identity, you're never going to fully come into your identity until you have that intimacy with the Father. I truly believe that intimacy with God begets your identity. And therein lies a lot of your confidence. Okay. So yeah, there's that one for me. Another good one that I thought was, oh my gosh, yeah, I think I'm pretty good at expressing myself, right? All right. But here's one that I'm not really good at. When it says expressing yourself in general, all right, pretty good. Expressing yourself how you feel. Well, my personality is I'm a thinker, I'm not a feeler. So it's really hard for me to truly sometimes even understand what I'm feeling. So I have to pull back. And a lot of people always say, wow, man, wow, your face just kind of, because yeah, I kind of hide, I'm here, but I can't really engage in my normal way when I'm feeling something. I got to go inside. I got to go inward and figure out what it is that I'm feeling. And then there are times that I don't even express it to other people. So that's an issue, right? I'm not being my full authentic self if I can't express my feelings. But honestly, it's not because I want to withhold. It's because sometimes I'm not sure what I'm feeling. And even if I do know what I'm feeling, the next step for me, right? This is my logical mind that thinks, now what you're feeling, is it legit? Right? Are you in your feels, or should you really feel that way? Should you really come across that way to somebody? So I got to do a lot of introspection. So there's a little disconnect there. And I don't have enough confidence to share my feelings. So that's one that I had to put on the lower scale. I'd have to say around 6, maybe a 5. And the more that I really look at myself, the more that I say, I've got to grow in this area, because I owe it to those around me who love me and who want to know, how are you? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? My sister Connie's here. She'll probably tell you, there are times that I just, ask me how I'm doing. I'm good. How are you? And really quick, I pivot. I'm being vulnerable here. This is my truth. I'll pivot and I'll ask you how you're doing, because I don't want to share. I'm not sure how I'm feeling, and I don't know how to emote that. So that's an area of growth for me. Honestly, I have to be a little bit more confident in the way that I express and share my feelings. Okay. Another one for me, I think I already told you guys. How confident are you about making your needs or desires, to make change in your life? And for me, weight loss. That's a big one. Like, I'm not very confident. If you guys know me, I lost a lot of weight. I mean, I lost over 160 pounds at one time. And right now I still haven't hit my goal weight. I've gained a little bit. I got to go further. But confidence says take the next step. So that's what we're talking about here. Having that confidence to say, I know that I can, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to figure this out, and I'm going to go forward and take the next step. So that's what we're talking about when it comes to confidence. I would love for you guys to fill this out. This is just an assessment to know where we're at so that I can know what to talk about next, right? So what I want you guys to do is to make sure that you have filled that out and that you put it in the post, or, DM me, let me know where you're at when it comes to that confidence. What do you want to talk about? Because I really want to make it for you. But what I want you guys to know tonight is that confidence is not a feeling. This is something that you're going to work on. We're going to work on together. You're going to get there. We're going to talk about those limiting beliefs. We're going to talk about those areas in your life where you're not, these things are not real. They're in your mind. The way that you're seeing yourself, the way that you're feeling about yourself or about this particular issue, this particular thing, most of it is in your mind. And if you make that quick pivot, if you just change a couple of things or just a thought, just change, look at it from a different perspective, you can show up in a different way, right? And showing up for yourself is the most important thing. So that being said, is there any more questions? Is there anything that I can answer for you guys? I would love to see what you put down in there. I told you it was going to be short. I wanted to leave it around 30 minutes or so, because I know that some of us have other things to do at 7 o'clock, and I want to give you a little bit of a break. But if there is anything particular in confidence that you want to talk about, I would love to talk to you. You can DM me privately if you want, or if you want to share with other people. I would love, for us to just kind of get a tailor-made program for you, specifically speaking, because every single one of these areas we're going to talk about, and we're going to do it. Thank you, Amy. We're going to do it in a different way. So when we're talking about, so let me give you the 9 areas. right? Because you can't really see it in here. This is something, an assessment that then I get, and then I can figure out, okay, this is the area that my client needs help with or whatever. I figured this is good for you guys so that you can see for yourself where you might lack it or where you might need it. But honestly, there are, like I said, 9 different areas when it comes to confidence. I'm just read them off to you, and you can do this on the replay and you can see it. And I'm not going to talk for every single one of them, but I do want to talk 3 major ones that you guys might be struggling through. So here's what they are. The areas of confidence, for the different aspects of confidence. One is mindsets, right? We talked about there, the belief in your ability to change and grow. That's number 1. You got to have that growth mindset. That's number 1. Number 2 is self-doubt. So a lot of women are telling me that they're showing up, right? And let me see. Thank you for taking the time. Oh, you're welcome, Erica. Absolutely. I need you guys to come back. Because this is just the intro. This is just a taste, right? There's so many other things here, but self-doubt. A lot of women are showing up. They're making decisions, and then they're double-minded. Now they're doubting their own decisions. Now they don't have their confidence in that they can make good decisions because they've seen some of the outcomes that they've had by making decisions that are incongruent to who they are as a person. Right? Have you ever done something? Have you ever said, yeah, I'll be there? And then when you show up, you're like, I can't believe I have to do this. But you put this on your plate. And since you did it in an incongruent way, you can't have confidence when you show up and do it correctly, do it wholeheartedly, do it without having that doubt, right? So there's a lot of women that are suffering with that self-doubt because of that lack of confidence, because of that lack of identity. And they maybe knew somewhere inside that they were incongruent, that they shouldn't have been doing this thing or participating in this or volunteering for the other jazz or whatever. It could be anything. But again, it's that coming to that place that says, I don't want to have this self-doubt anymore. I have to grow in this area. So that's an area of confidence. Another one is action, getting started or overcoming apathy. How many times, for me, I love to finish things. That's like my jam. I want to finish things a lot more than I want to start things. But again, there's a couple certain things like diet and whatever that I don't finish. So, okay, there's something going on there. Obviously, that's my thing. But for a lot of people, they start things and they don't finish it, right? They don't have the confidence to get out there and do it. Some don't even have the confidence to get out there and get started. I should do that. I might be able to do that, but they don't get out there and do it. So it's very important for you to think about that. The next one is competency, right? We already talked about competence, which is acquiring the knowledge and developing skills. The next one is social. So many people, like my friend, she had those social anxieties when it came. She didn't have that confidence to show up and just be a social person. It's not that, again, this has nothing to do with introverted, extroverted. You could be an extroverted person and still not have the confidence to speak and to show up in public and with other people. So the next thing is fear, right? Fear comes on. So refraining those fear thoughts, those thoughts of fear, that's a part of confidence that we can talk about as well. Self-talk, a lot of us have a lot of negative self-talk and we're already talking ourselves out of something. Oh, okay, I can't do this. This is going to take too long. Oh man, I thought this was going to be a quick fix. I came here to, for somebody to tell me what to do tomorrow. Well, I already told you what it is. Get in there and take some action. Know that you can, know that you should, and take that action. Do it. What is it that's stopping you right now? What thing are you lacking in confidence? Because if it's speaking in public, go speak somewhere. Go throw yourself in a live, right? Some of us, that's really hard to do. Or if you're having confidence issues with a relationship, with someone in a relationship, talk to me. We can talk about this. We can figure out a way to get you in that comfort place where you can speak to that person and have confidence in your relationships. All right. Self-expression, we talked about that, overcoming limited beliefs and negative self-talk. And lastly, just expression in general, feeling that you know how to communicate, right? Developing communication skills and expanding that comfort level when it comes to other people. So those are the 9 areas. When we do this competency test here, it's going to show us which area that falls in, and we can talk about it, and we can get, the next 3 lessons that we're going to do, the trainings that we're going to do tailored to what you need. So just want to say thank you guys. Thank you for showing up. Amy, Erica, Connie, and I know there were a couple of others. Thank you. If you are watching this on the replay, do hashtag replay so that I know if you have any questions or comments. I would love to answer. You know, if you want to throw a little DM at me on the side, or if you just want to put the comments on the bottom, I'm going to go through them and respond to them. This is my first live, guys. I really wanted to bring you some really neat, juicy, good stuff for you, and I hope this was a blessing to you. And next time, again, as it's tailored to the need, we're going to get a little deeper, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper into how to get that confidence up. We're going to up level our confidence in these next 4 weeks. All right, guys, I'm Alex Moffat, and as always, I am rooting for your rise. Bye, guys.